Hey y'all, I'm Brenda with Blessings and Bread and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm in the kitchen making one of my mother-in-law's go-to recipes whenever she wanted a chocolate cake. Almost every time we had a family get-together, my mother-in-law would make this chocolate cake and everybody loves to eat it. It's a super simple recipe and one a lot of you may already know, but I'm going to share it on my YouTube channel just so I can have it as a legacy for my mother-in-law. So let's get started making this super easy and super delicious moist chocolate cake. We are going to begin making this cake by combining the dry ingredients, and I choose to sift mine together. So I'm going to put in 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And I'm going to sift those together. If you don't want to sift, you can always just mix these together well with a wire whisk. You know, a lot of older recipes call for sifting, and our flour is refined enough in today's world. Sifting the flour isn't always critical, but I like to sift just to combine all of my ingredients. And I usually end up with some sugar crystals that are a little bit large, and I usually just dump those out because they don't want to go through the sifter. And then I'll mix a little more, mix this together still, so it's mixed together really well. Now, again, you don't have to sift these. You can just mix them, but be sure they're mixed really well. And then we're going to set this aside, and we'll come back and combine the wet and dry ingredients in a minute. But we're going to put the dried ingredients to the side. And now I'm going to do the wet ingredients. And I'm beginning with the fat. And the fat in this recipe, there's a 1/2 cup of shortening. And I like to buy my shortening in the little bricks. And I've already measured it out. But it's a 1/2 cup of shortening. And I'm putting it in a little saucepan, a little small saucepan with a 1/2 cup of butter. And I like to use real butter, and I'm using unsalted butter. All right, and now I'm going to also add a cup of water, just a cup of water. And then the last thing we're going to put into this is 4 tablespoons of cocoa. And I am using Hershey Special Dark Cocoa, which lately I've had trouble finding this, but it will make a dark chocolate cake. You do not have to use the dark chocolate or the dark cocoa. I prefer that, so that's what I like to make my cake with the dark chocolate and make a really dark chocolatey cake. Actually, my mother-in-law did not do that. That's just how I make her recipe. And now I'm going to mix all this together, and then we're going to put this on the stove and let the butter and the shortening melt, and then bring it to a boil and combine it all. And then we'll come back and we'll mix these wet ingredients with our dry ingredients. So I'll be back when I have my wet ingredients here to a boil. All right, I brought this just to a boil, and as soon as it comes to a boil, you want to remove it from the heat. And now I'm going to pour this hot liquid over the dry ingredients. And just mix those together until they're completely combined. This is a really quick cake to make, something easy to do if you are wanting to make a cake that's easy to make and quick to make. This is kind of an easy one to do. All right, once that is combined completely, let me put that pan in the sink out of the way. Next, we're going to add our eggs, and we're adding 2 large eggs. And I'm just gonna beat those in or stir those in well. Once the eggs are mixed in, I'm gonna add a teaspoon of cinnamon, and this is optional, but I really like this in there. You can just barely taste it when the cake is done, but I always like to add that extra cinnamon. Sometimes I think recipes similar to this are called Mexican chocolate cake. My mother-in-law's recipe, though, calls it Scotch chocolate cake. I do not know why. Let me get my vanilla. I forgot my vanilla. I don't know why they call it Scotch chocolate cake, but the last ingredient is 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And that's really how easy this cake is to make. It's just something that cooks up really quickly or mixes up really quickly. Oh, Rod's mowing the yard. I don't know if you can hear the lawnmower going. I can certainly hear it. Hopefully you can't. All right, now this is all mixed, and I've already prepared a 9x13 pan, and I'm making mine in a disposable pan today because I am making this for a family reunion, and I want to take it for Rod's family. That's really why I'm making it. That every family gets together. We've usually had Neva's chocolate cake, and I want us to have chocolate cake at our family reunion. We haven't been together in a long, long time, so I'm trying to make some of the family recipes to take with me. So I'm just going to spread that out into my pan, and then we're going to bake this in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes. So I'm probably going to check it first at 25 and then at 350 degrees. And I've already preheated my oven, so it's ready to go. We're going to put this in the oven. And while it's baking, we'll go ahead and make the frosting because I like to add the frosting while the cake is still hot. This is a very, very simple fudge frosting that we're putting on top of the chocolate cake today. Super easy to make. We're going to combine 1/3 cup of milk and 4 tablespoons of cocoa. And this time I'm just using, regular cocoa powder, not the dark. I have tried it with the dark, but I find that people don't seem to want to eat it. It tastes good with the dark in there. But I think it's how it looks. People don't seem to eat it when I take it made with the dark. So I found just make the frosting with regular cocoa, but make the cake with the dark. Then I'm going to combine those together. And then we're going to add a stick of butter or 1/2 cup of butter. And I'm going to take this again to the stove, and we're going to cook this until it begins to boil. You want to be sure and take it off the minute it begins to boil. Okay, so we're going to be back when I finish bringing this to a boil. I'll bring it back, and then we'll just be adding it over our powdered sugar. My chocolate mixture here has come to a boil, and it's really important that you bring it all the way to the boil. The butter kind of begins to separate a little bit, but I've done that before and gotten a panic and didn't bring it all the way to the boil, and it does not work, literally, if you don't. Make sure you bring that all the way to a boil. And now I have 3.5 cups of powdered sugar. I'm just going to pour that over the powdered sugar and stir it in. And that's how super easy this frosting is to make. Oh, I think it's got a teaspoon of vanilla in it, probably. Actually, no, it doesn't call for that. So just continue stirring in the powdered sugar. And all that butter and milk is going to combine cocoa makes a delicious fudge frosting. And you don't want to make this too early ahead of your cake. You kind of want them to get done about the same time because you want to put this on a warm cake. Now, I'm going to stir this really good. I sifted my powdered sugar, but I still have some kind of lumpy in it. So you want to stir it really good till it's good and smooth. You want a good smooth frosting. And then it's just about time for my cake to be done. So I'm going to take a check on that and see where we are with the cake. And then we'll pour this on our warm cake. I have just taken this cake out of the oven, and while it is still hot, I'm going to pour this frosting and spread this frosting onto the cake. Then we're going to spread it around. And because that cake is hot, it's going to thin out even more this frosting, which will allow us to spread it onto the cake, but it will firm back up after it cools back down. This is a super cake. Like I said, many of you may have this recipe. It's similar to a Texas sheath cake recipe, just a little bit different. The main difference is it uses more chocolate than other cakes. And a sheath cake is usually made in like a jelly roll pan or a sheath pan, whereas this cake is baked in a 9x13 pan. I feel like I could make it in a sheath pan if I wanted to. I would just have to cook it less amount of time. And as you can see, that chocolate frosting just melted onto there, and it looks delicious, and that makes that cake done. This is a super easy cake to make, and it's perfect for taking to any kind of potluck function. Everybody loves chocolate cake, or most people, should I say, love chocolate cake, and I always see this getting eaten when I carry it to a function. I am not going to cut this today or sample it because today I'm going to save this for my family reunion that is coming up very soon. I hope you've enjoyed this video today, and I hope that you'll try. If you've never tried this cake before, you will. Like I said, it may be just a Southern thing, but most people I know have this recipe. And again, I want it on my YouTube channel as a legacy, and so my grandboys can find out what their great-grandmother's cake recipe was like, and I hope they'll grow up to love it. My son Travis, this was always his favorite birthday cake. It's the one he wanted made for his birthdays, and anytime he was coming to visit, his gran made sure she had one baked for him and ready for him to enjoy when he got to her house. So this is definitely a family legacy recipe. I hope you've enjoyed it. And I plan to let this cool completely, and then I plan to freeze it. It's not 4 or 5 days till the family reunion, so I'm gonna wrap it up in some aluminum foil really tight so it's airtight and freeze it that then I can take it out and it'll be ready to go on the day of the family reunion. I'm glad you were with me today. If you've not been a member of my channel, I'd love for you to join me on this journey. I know I'm not putting out as many videos as I was, but I'm still making them along. So I will see you the next time I'm in my kitchen, on my porch, or in my garden.